Today I'm going to be doing another of my special artist profiles, and today, as is going to be tomorrow, let tomorrow's be a bit of a surprise, is going to be on Steve Winwood. Now, with his brother Muff, he started out, of course, in Spencer Davis as a teenager, I'm a man, give me some lovin', and moved on into Traffic with Dave Mason, and broke off from Traffic in the mid-'70s and began a solo career. Now, there are a few gaps in his discography I don't have, but Steve Winwood is one of those guys I generally like to hear most of his music because I respect his musical character and the fact that he doesn't make a big diva out of himself. I really respect his complete and utter, big buzzword coming up for my generation, unpretentiousness. I said it. I just love Steve Winwood. I really do. And this is, now in the CD world, in the vinyl world, they call rare things, when you find them, a grail. This is a CD grail, actually out of print now. The first solo album of Steve Winwood. It features a lot of Traffic members and much of the Traffic sound, people like Rebop Kwakeba, and especially on some of the later songs. But I love songs like Hold On, Time Is Running Out, and Vacant Chair. And Steve Winwood, of course, played most of the instruments on this album. Somebody checkmarked a whole bunch of junk off there. Again, this album's sound is not that much different from his next one, another Grail release. This is still available on CD, but this is a gold CD. You open it up like so. You open it up with a special container, and you still see the gold. Ark of a Diver. When You See a Chance was one of the songs that really defined growing up to me. I was so amazed that one man could get that kind of depth of feeling, out of a keyboard and multi-instrumentalist kind of sound where he was playing everything, and that level of melody and vocal technique on When You See a Chance alone. But this album, oh my goodness, the title song, Spanish Dancer, a beautiful song that I love, and the funky Night Train. This is a spectacular album. This is a Mobile Fidelity Ultra Disc 2 release. This originally came out in 1980. There's Steve as he appeared then. Not bad looking guy. Really talented fellow. I love this album. A lot of people say, this is too 80s, but whatever, frankly, this is just masterful. So many multi-instrumentalists today could learn from this. It's economical and flamboyant all at the same time. And beautifully melodic. I love it. The next album, much in the same vein, is Talking Back to the Night. The original version of Valerie is on this album. Another grail. This is actually out of print on CD right now. And another song I love here is Help Me Angel. This guy had another thing in common, wink wink, with another Stevie whose last name, or at least performance last name, began with a W. I think you know who I'm talking about. They both had a great facility on the clavinet electric keyboard. I wonder why they never recorded together. Both child prodigies, a couple years apart. I love this album, especially the title track. I love that keyboard sound he got during that era. A lot of people pick on it. There's Steve again. But anyway, I think Valerie was remixed later, and when he started having a lot of big hits. And of course, this was his big hit album. When I was 6 years old, he bought in Chaka Khan for Higher Love. And Back in the High Life charted pretty good too. And he also had a song on here called The Finer Things, which was another huge hit for him. He modernized up a little bit again on this album, but used that signature keyboard sound and integrated a lot of Caribbean rhythms into this album. From 1986, one of his greatest. This is a fairly common album to find. I think I paid $1 for this, to be honest. The next album, I love Roll With It. It just embodies that Wilson Pickett Atlantic soul style. It's what they call real foot stomping music. The kind of thing Steve would have listened to in the 60s. And there's another song on here called Don't You Know What the Night Can Do that I really like too. And this is really a fantastic album from 1988. His last kind of big hit album. The next album was Refugees of the Heart. By 1990, he wasn't really faring all that well commercially, but he was still Steve Winwood, so anyway, I have that album too. If I see Steve Winwood, I just collect it. The next album was 1997's Junction 7, which didn't really do all that well at all. The next album I have is from 2008, 9 Lives. Really good album, more rootsy, kind of like Roll With It was, but Steve Winwood has such a great sound on guitar and keyboard. He's especially organ, just an amazing player. So Steve Winwood is going to be having his birthday today. He is going to be 67. So happy birthday to Steve Winwood. And for the rest of you, enjoy your music, and I'll see you next time.